The government is going to be giving away $10,000 stimulus checks. And in this video, we're going to talk about who gets one, how do you get it, and how you can get yours. But first, we have to spend a quick minute and talk about how is this money even possible? How can the government just give away all this money to everybody for free? So, to do that, we have to go back to 1971 when Richard Nixon passed a law that said the US would no longer be on what's called the gold standard. So before then, our money, the US dollar, was actually tied to how much gold we had in reserves. And in 1971, Richard Nixon passed a law that would no longer be applicable. We can now print as much money as we physically wanted to. And there's kind of some checks and balances, but for the most part, the main check and balance is how our money compares to other countries, if it goes up or goes down based on other countries' currency. That's really the only check and balance that really matters. So here's the problem. We now have over $22 trillion in debt. And this new virus bill that Congress is passing right now is going to add $2 trillion more to the debt. And see, the thing is that nobody's going to be paying this money back. So in 2008 and 2009, when they passed the bailouts to the banks and the other financial institutions that got it, they had to all pay it back with interest. And that was only like 8 or 900 billion. Okay, now this stimulus package is $2 trillion. And it's going to mostly be going to the common everyday people, people who are unemployed, people who have small businesses, people who have payroll to make. But the thing about unemployment and this new stimulus package is nobody pays it back. Who's going to be paying for it? The age old saying used to go, there's no free lunch, and the common man, the taxpayer, is going to be paying for it. But here's the thing, our debt has been rising at a historic rate. We're literally adding $2 trillion in debt just in this one quick swoop. Okay, that's more than 10% of the entire US debt that we've ever accumulated. And what's crazy is with the US being at war in Iraq for 18 years, the US spent about $2 trillion in that 18-year span on the war in Iraq. And that was over 18 years. Now they're literally passing $2 trillion in money spent in 1 year or less than 1 year just for the stimulus package that is just getting passed now. So who is going to end up paying for all this? Well, I've kind of come to the conclusion and the reality that nobody's going to pay for that. It used to be the age-old saying that the common man, the taxpayer, would pay for everything in the end. But we're just spending trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in government debt. Our government debt is just going through the roof. I mean, it's up to 22 trillion, 23 trillion. With this added 2 more million, it's going to be like 25. And honestly, in another 10 or 20 years, it'll probably be at 50 trillion. And the reality of it is that nobody is going to pay this money back. The government is just printing money, and we can print as much money as we want. And the only checks and balances that, it's compared to other countries, how much they print, and they're doing the same thing. They're going through the same virus. They're doing stimulus packages also. They're just printing money like crazy, just like we are, and it's not going to stop. It hasn't stopped. And by the time I'm, 100 years old or 80 years old, hopefully, the US will probably have $100 trillion in debt. And who's going to be paying for that? No, nobody's going to be paying for it. The government's just printing money, and yes, we're paying for the interest that we have to other countries and stuff like that. But in the long run, they're just going to print more money to pay for that. So in reality, nobody is going to be paying this debt. So with that being said, you can get your free money too. All the people on unemployment that can't work right now are getting free money every single week from the government, up to about $1,000 between the state and the government. And they're also coming out with this $10,000 or more stimulus package for people who are 1099, people who have a business, own a small business, have payroll or employees, or a whole bunch of different things that you can qualify for. So, this is a very controversial subject. So, let me know down below in the comments if you think that the government's just going to keep printing money and nothing's going to happen, or if one day the US is going to have to pay for all this debt and eventually this is going to stop. Let me know down below in the comments. So, this government stimulus is going to be from what's called the CARES Act, CARES. And here's who is eligible: self employed workers, independent contractors, sole proprietors, anybody who's 1099'd, or if you 1099 somebody as part of your business, all small businesses, restaurants, and small hotels, and pretty much all small businesses that you can think of. So basically, what this act is going to do is it's going to provide you with a government loan that is forgivable. Let me say that again. It is a forgivable loan, which means you can apply and basically not have to pay back this loan at all. So, what will happen? Pretty much everybody will do that. And all these people, you, me, 1099 contractors, real estate agents, small businesses, will basically be getting $10,000 or more for free because they're making the loan forgivable. Because of this virus and this current economic situation and all the unemployment and millions of people and small businesses that are either out of work or struggling to pay their bills to keep people in work. So if you have a side hustle, a small business, or an Amazon home-based business, you may qualify for this. Stay tuned. So this is going to be a grant or a loan from the US government to you guys. And you're going to be able to basically get this money for free, get this money forgiven. And it's about $360 billion worth of money. And once that runs out, then it's going to be gone. So you're going to need to make sure you do this quickly. And you can only apply for this grant or this loan up until June 30th, 2020. After then, it'll be no more. And here's what's crazy is if you get denied for the loan, you still get to keep the $10,000. How crazy is that? So these grants or these loans are going to be done through the government and the SBA program, the Small Business Administration. And the bill actually says that within 3 days of them receiving your application, that you are going to receive the $10,000 or more. Then you could buy my Amazon FBA course. And this bill literally says that you can be denied and still get to keep the $10,000 or more. And a side note is when you go to apply for this loan, they are going to do a credit check. And I think the reason they're doing this, it says that you don't have to have good, bad credit or any type of credit limit, but they are going to do a credit check. And I think they're doing it to prevent people from filing for, this grant on 5 different companies for just that person. So the government is giving us this money to pay for approved business expenses. That includes pay for employees, sick pay, health insurance, for debt payments that you have for your business or any type of business expenses, really. If it's business related, it's pretty much approved. You can see the full list in the bill down below in the description that I will link for you. Also down in the description, I'm going to put a link to the application process for this. The good thing about this is there is a lot of approved reasons that you can go and spend this money and then get the loan or the grant forgiven because you spent the money appropriately. And the government's actually kind of streamlining this process and making it very easy for people because of the severity of the economic situation right now. They're actually making it so there's no personal guarantees at all, and also that they won't require any collateral at all either. So what if you don't have employees? How can you know if you qualify for this? Here's exactly what this bill says. This bill says that you can qualify for this grant if you've been in business prior to February of 2020, you have employees, or you 1099 people, or you get 1099'd in your side business, small business, whatever you want to call it. So, and you can actually get more than $10,000. What they do is you're going to tell them what your payroll expenses are per month, and you can get a loan for up to 2.5 times that. So basically 2.5 months worth of money that your small business would need with a $10,000 minimum. So for example, if you were spending $5,000 a month on all your payroll expenses and employee expenses, aka you as the employees, if it's just you would get 2.5 months times the 5, or $12,500. So you're going to want to take advantage of this government program or this free money while you can before it's all gone or the date, passes. So let me know what you think of this down below in the comments, or if you think that our economy is going to completely crash because the government's just printing money and giving it away. Let me know down below. And over here, I'll link another video you should watch. And over here, I'll link my How to Start an Amazon FBA Home-Based Business playlist that you can watch each video and they automatically play. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.